Hello everyone, how's it going? Do you ever hear a noise or feel a cracking, crunching, or popping sensation when you move your knee? Well, today we're going to talk about if we should be worried if we hear those noises, what some things might be that are causing that sound, and also if it's still safe for us to exercise. If that sounds interesting to you, then keep watching. So for a few years now, I've actually had something where I've described like a crinkling sound in my right knee when I would flex it. And it's kind of funny because when I started to do research, other people described it as popping, snapping, catching, clicking, crunching, cracking, crackling, creaking, grinding, grating, and clunking. Nobody actually seemed to describe it exactly the way I did. I did finally find someone who said that it sounded like scrunching plastic wrap, which was kind of similar to my description. But anyway, I was relieved when I did some research, pretty relieved, because they brought out that it's actually normal for the knee joint to make many of those noises. And as long as we don't have pain, swelling, or we haven't had an injury, and we have the noise but no pain, it's generally not an issue. However, that knee creaking can be a sign that you will develop osteoarthritis, but not always. Now, there was a new study that suggested that people who have noisy knees, even without pain, are actually at a little bit higher risk of developing pain within the next year compared to those who didn't have noisy knees. Now, the study included people ages 45 to 79, since people are usually more at risk after age 50 of developing osteoarthritis. So if your knees creak only occasionally, it may not be much of a concern. However, if you are over age 50 and you hear a lot of noise from your knees frequently, even if you don't have pain, it might be a good idea to check with your primary care physician to see if maybe you could get an x-ray just to see if there is any evidence of osteoarthritis. Now, the name of this cracking or popping sensation is crepitus, and it can happen to us at any age, but it is more common as we age. And it can happen in one or both knees. Now, some of the things that can cause that sound is, one is as we get older, the tissue that covers the bone is called cartilage, and that can develop uneven areas. So when you go to squat or stand, the sound comes from the rougher surfaces gliding across each other. Another thing that can happen is air bubbles. So air can actually seep into the soft tissue and find its way around the area, that area around the joint, and it can cause tiny bubbles in the synovial fluid. So when the person bends or stretches, the bubbles burst, and it's usually harmless. Also, if someone has had a knee replacement, they may experience crepitus, and it could be due to the design and the fit of the new knee, but usually that will just resolve itself without any intervention. But if you do have knee noise with pain or swelling or after an injury, you definitely want to seek medical attention because you may have like a meniscus tear, or you may have damaged the cartilage or injured it somehow. So you definitely want to be treated for that. Now, before we move on to if it's still safe for us to exercise, I'd like to remind you to please like and subscribe if you're enjoying today's video. So is it safe to continue to exercise if you have no pain but your knees are noisy? Yes, exercise is actually regular exercise really can strengthen your legs and knees. Of course, you'd always want to check with your physician or physical therapist, especially if you're experiencing pain. We always want to make sure we're doing exercises correctly, so we can check with them before we start any exercise program. You can also purchase a DVD or watch a video so that you can have an instructor reminding you exactly how to do the exercises with the proper form. They'll keep reminding you so that you don't injure yourself. There are also many low impact exercises that we can do that are very good for joint tissues, such as walking, a stationary bike, or even swimming. Something else that can help is to make sure we warm up before we exercise, and also include stretching so that we can maintain our flexibility. Something that can spare our knees is to have good fitting shoes. And the most important thing is if we can try to maintain a healthy weight. I know that's easier said than done, but experts do agree even losing just 10 pounds can make a huge difference with the health of our knees, keeping a lot of that strain off of our knees. So just because we have knee noise, boy, that's like a tongue twister. Just because we have knee noise doesn't guarantee that we will develop osteoarthritis. However, we always do want to take steps to improve our joint health. We do want our knees to stay as healthy and active as long as possible. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's information, and I hope to see you in the next video where we'll discuss another way we can improve our health.